This is my friend's 2005 Jeep Wrangler, and these are his Mickey Thompson Classic 2 wheels, but they're missing something. When a tire shop was taking off the wheels, they accidentally screwed up with the original center caps and they no longer fit onto the wheels. So this means there's just an open cavity in the center of the wheels. So today we're going to see if we can fix this issue with 3D printing instead of spending an outrageous amount of money to just buy new ones. My friend really enjoys to work on Jeeps and other 4x4s. He even encouraged one of my other friends to buy his current car and start fixing it up. A little while back, he reached out to me asking if it would be possible to make custom caps using 3D printing. I told him I wasn't sure, but it was definitely worth a shot. He wanted the caps to look close to the original, but a little bit shorter. So he used Onshape to design them himself and based them off dimensions that he found online. He definitely could have purchased them online, waited a few days for them to ship, slapped them on the wheels, and gone about his way. However, this would be more expensive and less fun. Replacement caps are actually pretty hard to find because it's a pretty weird size that the caps have to be. But the ones I could find were upwards of $50 to $100 for one. So in this case, 3D printing is going to be exceptionally cheaper. And we'll go over the cost of how much these actually took to make later on in the video. Of the ones that he found online though, he didn't really like any of them, so with 3D printing, he was able to customize the design to what he wanted. If you have any experience with 3D printing, you'll know that 99% of the time, prints are made from purely plastic. A lot of the time, people use a plastic called PLA or polylactic acid. The reason a lot of people choose PLA for 3D printing is because it's cheap and easy to print with, but where it suffers is its durability and resistance to elements. Since we're printing these caps for a car that will be subject to the elements nearly every day, as well as a decent amount of force from them being held onto the wheels, we're going to need a much stronger material that'll hopefully be able to hold up. There are many different filament options we could have chosen from, but we decided to go with PACF, also known as carbon fiber nylon, from eSun. This filament is comprised of 75% nylon and 25% shredded carbon fiber for extra rigidity. Carbon fiber nylon is known for its durability, a little bit of flex, and its great resistance to chemicals, which is perfect for our application. My friend designed and sent me the file for the print, which I loaded up into Bamboo Studio. This just goes to show how easy it is to get into 3D printing and especially 3D modeling because he had barely any prior experience. It's a fairly simple design, but he was able to figure it out all on his own, which is amazing because he was able to customize it to his specifications and exactly how he envisioned it, which you're not going to be able to get when you buy something online, and it's definitely going to cost a lot more because you're going to have to pay for it to be shipped to your house. I have never used carbon fiber nylon before, and many people claim that it is difficult to print with. This filament absorbs water extremely quickly, so you have to dry it before printing. And if you're doing a long print, you may want to consider keeping it in the dry box while printing. I decided to print this on my Bambu Lab X1 Carbon. I decided not to use the AMS system because the AMS doesn't do well with abrasive filaments and carbon fiber nylon is extremely abrasive. The X1 Carbon comes stock with hardened steel nozzle and hardened steel extruder gears, and these will be essential for not damaging the printer while printing due to the carbon fiber nylon being super abrasive. I also added a thin layer of glue stick onto the build plate to stop it from adhering too well. I decided to print directly from the dry box while drying so I would avoid any issue with waterlogging. Each of the caps took 1 hour and 45 minutes to print and about 45 grams of filament. Considering that one spool of this filament contains 100 grams and the roll costs about $52 per spool, each of these caps comes out to about $2.30 to make. And since there are 4 wheels on a car, I needed to print 4 of them, bringing our total for this entire set to only $9.20. This means we're saving a few $100 just by 3D printing them instead of buying them online. Which really goes to show how versatile 3D printing is and how in some cases it can save you a ton of money. The $9.20 also accounted for support material, which is just waste. This is what the final product looked like when they were all done printing and ready to put onto the wheels. They have a nice matte black texture, and since we printed in the carbon fiber nylon, the layer lines are hid very well. This is common with 3D prints in carbon fiber nylon or carbon fiber PLA, and they always turn out looking amazing. And that's why carbon fiber filaments are some of my favorite filaments you can purchase, and if you want to get your own eSun filament, you can use my affiliate link. And no, this video isn't sponsored by eSun, they just make some amazing filament. You can also find an affiliate link to the Bambu Lab X1 Carbon down below if you're interested. Now let's see if they fit onto the wheels first try. We were thinking about painting them, but we decided that would be pretty difficult, and they look pretty cool matte black anyways. Plus, the paint would probably chip away. To get the caps onto the wheels, you have to take off the entire wheel and push the caps through the back. And then the caps are held on by this small flange. So we lifted the car, removed the lug nuts, and took off the wheel. It's not very often that you print something and first try it fits perfectly, especially without any prior testing. But to our surprise, these fit so well. There was a little bit of corrosion from the brakes that we needed to sand off in order for them to fit completely, but once we did that, the cap slid nicely into the cavity. They sat completely flush with the back and didn't leave any room for movement on the sides, which is exactly what we wanted to happen. We put the wheels back on, and in my opinion, they look amazing. He even included the Mickey Thompson logo on the cap, and it makes this car look so much more complete. The caps will also help hide the rusty axle from the outside and maybe even prevent further rusting. Ultimately, 3D printing these caps was an amazing idea because we're able to save a ton of money, and he was able to custom make them. Plus, if he ever needs a new one, he can just hit me up again and I'll make him another one. I'll make another video in about a month or two to see if they actually are able to hold up to the elements. Drop a like so I can afford to buy myself a Jeep one day.